Oh, I know. Why we choose bad people? You could be like, this is why we choose bad people. We can even talk about like I love you like a brother, but the Corleone family, he killed his own brother. How sociopaths say blood's thicker than water. That's why we choose bad people, stuff like that. And then say like,
That could be our
no,
theory. We'll
no, no,
just come up with
no.
different reasons. And
We'll
then
just no, but the way to end it would be something like you have a choice in your programming. Thank you for choosing our show.
yeah, hey, well, welcome into the Danny and Albert show. Again, this is Danny and my brother Albert. Two time zones, two brothers, two different opinions.
Making it happen.
Yeah, but we always find middle ground to come into. So I hate to say it, man, but it's been a minute since our last show. Time gets away from us.
Well, actually, like this was kind of a secret and stuff, but we were doing a Vegas tour on the ground, and we sent out selective like Willy Wonka tickets.
Yeah, we were.
So
What's that called? We had a residency.
we weren't supposed.
Yeah, we had a residency in Vegas, and it was by invite
Yeah,
only.
we had to go underground.
Yeah.
Right,
Hey,
we had
well,
to go underground, and now
nonetheless,
we're back.
we're trying to get back in the groove. 2022. Everybody's got their resolutions, and everybody wants a new start. So this is kind of our fresh start. Only took us 3 weeks into the year to do it.
I mean, I only have one resolution that's here, and that's to clean up my Gmail inbox. I got like 10,000
Oh my
emails.
gosh. I
So,
know. God. So
yeah.
everybody's doing that, but one of the things that we did want to recap was we had a really good holiday this year, and because last year's holiday was kind of interrupted halfway through by COVID symptoms.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was crazy, man.
Danny gave me the gift that gave me how kept giving all year.
I know that was
It's
what
called
this.
lack of oxygen.
I know. So in
We had
December,
COVID.
yeah, December 2020, um, about right after Christmas, like 2 days after Christmas, I started having COVID symptoms. Bad. I mean, I'm laying on your couch,
Oh yeah.
and so then, we decide to take off. Right after the New Year's, and I get really sick. I go in the hospital for 17 days. Anyway, it was a nightmare. But that's why this Christmas was a whole lot better. But we had a great time, man. Great time. Got to go down to San Diego and then
Oh
Santa
yeah.
Barbara. Just awesome time. You had a hard time with the. Well, should we talk about the frou food?
Oh, the food. There's always food, man. Like I always say, I can't stand. I always tell Bethany, my partner. I always tell her like, don't take me to a place that you got to pay $25 for chicken.
So we
That I
did go
could have
to a
got
frou
it
frou place
Costco.
on Christmas Eve, but it
Yeah,
was great. We needed that. We
yeah,
needed to class up our act a little
yeah.
bit on that night.
We
But one of the things that we've been talking about is
like dress up.
well, okay. So I went cheap on this flight, and I got Allegiant tickets, right? And so
Now,
um, traveled with the
isn't
chickens and the
it?
goats in the back.
Is that where is that the airlines where they have all the fights break out because of baggage?
That's
They
that's Spirit.
pay like $60 in baggage. Oh
That's
yeah,
Spirit.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
flown. I fly Spirit
They
as
have
well.
bad spirit on that one.
So I use.
I have a spirit bag.
Oh my gosh.
I have a
Okay.
spirit bag that I bought on Amazon. Because when you talk about going cheap, like I'm not gonna pay for that extra luggage.
Okay. Well,
So it's
shame,
like
shame
I got
on
the
me.
bag because
No, you got the exact measurements. I mean, you were like, I'm not paying a
exactly.
dime for this. But yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, so I mean, so one of the things that I did was I flew because we're getting good at this. Is we fly with no baggage because I pack so well. Even the TSA guy was like, "Hey, this is good." And anyway, so he was impressed. He was like, "I can't believe you got that much stuff in there." But I specifically did that, but I also did that kind of as a pretext for not buying gifts. So that was the kind of thing that we did. It was like, "Hey, I'm not." I'm not.
George Costanza.
I don't have room in my luggage for gifts to come back. So hey, let's make a deal. You don't buy gifts, and we don't buy gifts. So that brought up the whole argument about gifts at Christmas and like when you return a gift, what do you do?
I mean, like gift etiquette. You know what I mean? Like in other words, like I'm sure you could think of like the worst gift someone's ever gotten. You're like, wow, and I have to keep this to maybe and put it out because they come over my house and like, hey, where's that so and so, that I got you and stuff. And like, now what is the etiquette? Like, when can you return it? How long do you have to wait? Like, what do you buy someone? And this isn't even in the dating realm. If you're dating someone a certain amount of time, like, how much money do you have to spend? Like, levels go up.
Also, the worst thing in the world is to get a gift. All right, so you get this gift that maybe at Christmas time or what have you, so you're the first one to open it up, right? So you open it up. It's a knockout gift. It's over the top gift, and then you're like, okay, they're gonna open my gift next, and it's not even in the same zip code, man. I'm like, they went overboard, and so that's why I was like, hey man, hey, let's just do gift cards.
Yeah, well, speaking of gift cards, it's like, in talking about knock it out, it's like, some people when they Christmas shop, they're like, oh, I'll just get so-and-so this thing, and then you open up their gift and it's like an album made on Snapfish of all the times you hung out. And then you open it up, and by the time you get to the last page, you're like in tears of thinking of all the great time you spent together. And then they're like, oh, let's see what you got me. And then they open it up and it's an Amazon gift card.
I'm horrible at that, man. Okay, so it's wrong to me because like now, and I feel bad, but I feel bad, but I'm using the single parent card a lot, and I know I should. It's like everything I'm blaming on single parent, man. You just don't understand. I don't have time. I don't have time to go to, but I do. It's like I get overwhelmed, man, when I go shopping. I don't know about you. Maybe it's the ADD or whatever. I can't get into it, man.
Well, it's like, 90% of America shops online now. You know what I mean? They don't want to deal with the crowds are going in because it's so like, what's that called? Like when you're doing it on a computer, you could do it on your own time. There's no one rushing you. There's no like the chaos of Christmas. There's just choices that you can make. And there's still a lot online. And there's the whole trying to find a hunt deal thing. But what I'm saying is like, it can be overwhelming, like going to shops, but going back to the picture thing, I know I was busting on that. Is like, we talked about like measuring like by like how thoughtful, whatever. But like some of the best gifts I've gotten in my life have been less than 10, $15. And they were just so specific to me,
Yeah.
I mean, I bought Bethany a card that has our dog lifting its leg. Like we have a Manchester Terrier. And that's what he does when he like wants, like he wants a treat or whatever. But it's so specific to her and I. They're like, that $5 car was like a grand slam. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
well, I don't know if it's just because me and you are cheapskates, but I don't do good with gifts. I try, but I just, me and you're like,
no, you do pretty good. Yeah. Or what you do is you do like, well, it's sort of like, well, what is it? Like the battered woman syndrome. You're like, I'm gonna leave this guy, and then he goes out and buys you like, like the 20,000
I will say,
dollar ring, or does something so thoughtful.
I will say this.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like
I do want to give a shout out to a lady by the name of Rebecca Campbell. She has a not for profit here in Brownsburg. Unbelievable lady, man. She's been reaching out to our family ever since Karen passed away. She's been really on top of like you were here that first Christmas when they brought a whole Greyhound tour bus, of cheerleaders, and they brought Landon all these gifts. So they knocked it out of the park. That first Christmas was incredible. We needed that. But I felt bad because this year I knew we were going to Los Angeles. So she asked me for what Landon wanted, and so what Landon, what he needed, and all. So I gave her this list. I felt bad first of all giving her this list. Then I felt bad sending her an email saying, "Hey, we're not actually going to be here for Christmas," because she likes doing it on Christmas Day, and so we're not going to be here for. Anyway, we could schedule this after Christmas, and she was like, "Sure." So anyway, so we come back, and so I leave the Christmas tree up because I've been pumping it up for Landon. So we come back. And man, shout out to her. She a couple days after Christmas, after New Year's, because we came back New Year's, she came and she brought Landon all kinds of Lego toys, all kinds of incredible stuff, clothes, snow boots. I mean, so just man, there's some good people out there. I want to give a shout out to Rebecca and her not for profit. And so okay, so then we do that, and Landon is so slick. He looks right at me and he goes, "Now, Daddy, when we were at Christmas, Uncle Albert gave me gifts. And Rebecca gave me gifts." He goes, "But Santa Claus didn't come. When's Santa Claus coming?" I felt so bad. I go, "Oh, yeah, Santa Claus came." It's like, I was like,
yeah,
trying to pull it. He wasn't buying it.
You should have just pulled the Mendes thing and been like, well, see, Santa, because he has to do it worldwide, is like FedEx. He has distribution centers. So he brings everything to Chicago, and they went up and they picked it up. And these are like his temporary elves because of COVID.
See, so now we're turning into Mom. That's something Mom would do. Mom could come up with a lie like that and sell it. And she could sell it, Yeah, okay, so we did all that, and then we went down to San Diego, and that's what I want to talk about next. Is we went to San Diego, and Bethany, Albert's fiance, going to be soon to be wife.
Yeah. Fiance.
And we'll be talking about wedding prep in some of our next episodes. But anyway, okay, so she recommended a place in San Diego. So we were kind of like, all right, let's see what you got.
She grew up with it, and she called them rolled tacos, which are like what are those called? Flautas. That's a rolled taco, right? A flauta is a rolled. Yeah. So she calls them rolled tacos. I'm like, these are flautas. And they're like, well, they call them rolled tacos. But I ended up ordering the breakfast burrito, and I was blown away. I thought probably one of the best burritos I've ever had in my life. So, according to, the American Diet Association, I'm overweight. So I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, man, let's not even go on that, man. It's like, like every time I go to the doc. No, okay, let's not go there. But man, they throw out that morbid obese thing really quick these days.
I know. But the thing was awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so we got in a little bit of a judging match. So if you're ever in Southern California, maybe you could take us up on this challenge. But there's two breakfast burrito places that are totally insane. The other one is called Via Corona on Glendale Avenue in Atwater
Village.
Atwater Village. And I like that place. I like that place maybe because it's a little bit nostalgic. I mean,
Anthony Bourdain liked that place. That's originally why. That's not why I went there, because it was in my old neighborhood. But like everyone knows that place because Anthony Bourdain put that place on the map.
Now, so the main difference that I noticed was, and I know this is getting when you're fat guys like us, you get into the technical parts of this stuff. All right, so. The flour.
I'm just saying there may be people right now sweating as we're talking about the ingredients.
So Roberto's has like a quarter inch tortilla, like maybe eighth.
Yeah,
an eighth of an inch is better. Eighth, very thin. And then Via Corona has about a quarter of an inch, very thick flour tortilla. That's kind of
almost
like
handmade.
Yeah, it is. They're both handmade, but that Via Corona. Now the problem is they're brutal. They tease you. It's like they're so good that they can make up their own hours. It's like
right.
I mean, now they have hours, right? The hours are funky. It's like
it's Sunday through. Oh, I forgot. It's Tuesday through Sunday. Yeah.
No, they're not open on Sunday.
Yeah, well, they say that on there. Yeah, that's what you're saying about creating their own hours. We went there on a Sunday.
It's brutal. Yeah, because sometimes they're open on Sunday, and then you go, and like you're starved and you're famished for one of these burritos that tastes so good, and then it just says closed. Like there's no explanation why they're not honoring their hours. Right. It's not a holiday. It's just they were doing the COVID stuff before COVID was popular. People shut down now and just throw COVID out there. They've been doing that stuff for years.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is like both of them had their own styles. I like Roberto's better, and my brother likes tacos via Corona because they're different. Like in other words, like the tacos via Corona had too much potatoes, and the potatoes really didn't have taste, and it wasn't as savory as the Roberto's was, but then also too is $5. So like in LA, that's like eating off the dollar menu at McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, I'm telling you though. Okay, now I will say this, man. I am so stinking proud of myself. I've been on a no sugar diet, like no added sugar, for about 3 months now. Which, I did break over the weekend, but that's a different story. But it's the first time ever, man. I was in California and did not partake of any of the incredible donuts there in California. So, but tacos via Corona versus Roberto's. If you've ever been to both, maybe in the comments you could put down what was your favorite. Hey, if you got a hangout or joint that you like, if you're watching this on Facebook or on one of the on Instagram or something, put in the comments what your favorite joint is, and what is your go-to place for, especially for breakfast burritos. Anyway, all right, so we got our keys to the city segment this week, and this one we don't really have a key, and Albert's kind of like the default relationship guru.
Yes. Don't you? I only play a doctor on TV, if you know what I mean.
But yeah, and we will put that disclaimer out there because we don't want anybody faulting us for if your relationships go sideways. But today in the Keys of the City segment, we want to talk about why we choose bad people to date, why we choose bad people to date or to be in a relationship with. Because now we have Valentine's Day, and we can do a whole thing about Valentine's Day and gifts and all that. Maybe we will. Maybe around Valentine's Day we'll talk about how the pressure to knock it out of the ballpark. Isn't it crazy, man? The pressure for that. But for right now, we'll talk about why we choose bad people. Why we choose bad people?
Yeah, I mean, well, in general, what you're talking about is bad people as far as like partnership, relationship. But
bad people
I would literally stake my. Well, here's the thing: I would stake my life. I will stake my life on this. Everyone, 100% of people that date bad people usually have a circle of bad people around them, whether it's a parent, a brother, or whether it's a friend. It doesn't start with they're like, why do I keep choosing the wrong, like whether you're female or male, why do I choose the wrong woman? Why do I choose or vice versa? Like, why do I choose the wrong man? Well, you got to ask yourself, like, look at all your choices and you still have family members that you shouldn't have in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should not be in your life. Just because they're family, they should be cut out. Like, because anyone that's bad, anyone that makes you feel bad about yourself, you know what I mean? Anyone that like is a narcissist, a sociopath, whatever. Like, why would you want to, surround yourself with negative people like that? They're only going to bring you down. And why do you give them so much power? And I guarantee you, it all deals with not the people you date, where it started from, everyone around you. Once you start whittling away, you start getting rid of the friends that aren't. I'm being serious. Hey, I did this, Danny. Yeah, I did this personally. Once you start, whittling away negativity, whittling away like, oh, that woman's crazy. Well, it's got nothing to do with me. Like, like, no, seriously.
Is that what
it's got nothing to do?
Is that what you do when you block them on your?
Oh yeah. Well, that's how I sleep at night.
Crazy.
No, but yeah, I'll tell you this, and this is only for me, and I'm only giving you advice on this, right? You're not going to connect with everyone. You're not going to be everyone's friend. If you don't have people that dislike you, then you're not doing something. You're not doing something right.
Well, there's a difference between someone that dislikes you and then someone that wants to put a brick through your window at 2 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what I mean by dislikes you is this: if you're not standing up for yourself against bullies, right? Now you can't be friends with everyone. You can't have everyone.
All right,
like
let me give you this scenario because this one happens a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, once again, this is me. I mean, dude, you remember people that know that don't know my backstory, you know, may know Danny know, and I used to weigh 500 pounds. Like I was at my heaviest, I was 482. You know, I lost all the weight, got plastic surgery, like, you know, and I, you know, I don't have to say I'm a confident person. People will tell you, wow, that guy, because I walk the walk. And that's and all that comes from if you don't fix yourself first, of course you're gonna hate people.
Right. But you
You're
know,
gonna surround yourself with negative
one
people.
of the worst things about choosing bad people, okay? All right, lots of things. We'll talk about a couple of them, but the one I want to talk about right now is when you choose a bad person, like sometimes it's so hard to get rid of them.
Right.
Oh
You
man,
won't,
it's like it's so hard to get rid of. Okay, so I'm gonna put a plug in here because it's it is what it is. But me and Beth were loved this show. It's on Apple TV. The Psychiatrist Next Door with Will
yeah.
Ferrell and Paul Rudd. Is it?
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Okay, it's a great program. Now they weren't in a dating relationship. They were actually in a medical relationship, psychiatrist and client. But that was a 30-year relationship. And Paul Rudd was the psychiatrist, and he was a bad person. And he basically took Will Ferrell's character for a ride. I mean, took him for a ride, you know. So
Yeah, and don't give it away because people may watch it.
yeah, no, you'll
You
love
should,
it. You'll love it. But I'm saying
yeah.
that is so typical of, you know, that's I think something everybody needs to be aware of is like when you're making a choice for a partner is hey, you know, bad people are hard to get rid of. You know, and
It's
it's
like
easier to cut that stuff off at the beginning than, you know.
I mean the biggest thing is this. I'll tell you this. It's like, can I tell you? So you cannot count the amount of self help books my brother and I have read if you combine them. Like I've read so many, and my brother as well. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, and so all this stuff that we're saying is based off of like reading other people that have gone through it, right? And the biggest reason why you have bad people around your life, it's one word,
Oh,
and
okay,
it's
all right.
boundaries.
Ooh,
Now, here's the thing about boundaries: you have to set boundaries that work for you.
right.
You know,
And I will tell you
and
this. I
that's
will
the
tell you
whole.
this. Though it will. And I've seen it in my own life. Boundaries are like a muscle. They're like a
Yeah,
muscle, you
they
know.
are.
And the first time you stand up for yourself and set up a boundary, it's like you might even have a stinking panic attack because you'll be like, you're just not used to doing it. But like once you do it and you realize like, oh, that person actually didn't, they were okay with it. They actually like, and it gets easier and easier, not easier and easier, but you just develop that muscle to where it's
Well,
not, it's
it's
not,
armor too.
yeah, well, it is armor, but I'm saying is it's easier to do. Like I'm much better at it now. And maybe the older you get, the more like, I don't care what people think anyway. So you kind of get
Right.
that thing going for you. But yeah, boundaries are so good because they really do protect you. You know, they do. But yeah, we don't, that's why I think sometimes I think bad people are attracted to people with no boundaries. Boom, ding, profound.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's almost like this. It's like a chameleon in the wild, right? Danny and the chameleon, like a chameleon, so it doesn't get eaten, right? Can camouflage itself, so it doesn't get eaten, but so that it can also eat. Okay. So you think it happens naturally? I mean, you think it's like what I'm saying. You
Organic.
think, or you think so? It is happening organically because they don't even know why they're doing it. Like the narcissist and the sociopath, they don't understand because that's who they are. That's their DNA. So you're attracted to it because that's who it is. You know, there's a great book called Attachment, where it's like the anxious person is attracted to the avoidant, like, and then the confident, and like everyone can be some version of it. And you know, and like, and what happens is it's like, why do I date guys who jerks all the time? Why do I date women that are
Because
like,
you're a jerk.
right? So, but in the end, you know, like, and it's like you talk about dropping Mike. It's like, why are you giving so much power to someone who's irrelevant? You don't know who they are. You're imagining all these things in your head because that comes from the core. You're imagining. The number one thing about women, I'll tell you this right now, they don't want to be put on a pedestal. They don't. I know, like a woman would be like, "Oh wow, he knows the secret." You want to know why? Because they don't want to live up to it. Imagine a man having that standard, right, and not meeting it. That's a lot of women feel that way, and then like
Albert
manipulate.
speaking on behalf of all
Well,
women of the world.
there we go. Well, no, it's not. But well, here's the thing, right, Danny? Ask women that. They'll tell you. They'll be honest. They don't. They don't want to be put on a pedestal. And the women that do, you don't want to date those women. They'll take your money and they'll leave. They'll go on to the next person. When you're not exciting, whatever, they'll just leave.
Okay,
Danny.
so let me ask you this
So
question.
yeah,
We've been talking about why do we choose bad people?
yeah.
All right, and the thing about it is, um,
But all these examples are because of boundaries and because not having inner core
and the thing
self
is, until
confidence.
you fix those components, until you stop, and
Yeah.
just really do serious soul searching and processing and all that, you're gonna date the same person over and over again.
Oh yeah.
They may
But
have a different name, they may have different hair color, they may have different accent, different nationality, but they will be the same person over and over.
well, but here's the thing, right? Read. Ask people. Go to therapy if you need to go. Do whatever. Like you need to develop armor to understand what's going on. People go and stuff and like, for instance, like when you go in to ask for a day off at work and you don't want to work a weekend, and not only do you work a weekend, but you work a double on the weekend,
Right.
and that's all manipulation.
Right.
So like developing the armor is like, I always say this all the time to people. You ask me what time you're asking. You ask me twice, you're manipulating.
Mm.
Because they're not asking you. If
Right.
they're asking you
Yeah,
again,
Okay.
they're manipulating you.
So let me ask you this question, and we'll,
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up here in a second. All right. So
Yeah.
we've been talking about why we choose bad people in the Keys of the City segment.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you this question. Think about this for a minute. What's a bad person?
A bad person. A bad person is someone that does something and expects something. That's the biggest thing. Is that's one. Two
I
is
guess
like,
you think bad person is synonymous with toxic. Is that the same thing?
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. And it's all like, to bad person is gonna mean something to different people. You know what I mean? Like it really is. Like there's different levels of bad. You know what I mean? But I mean, at least for me, a bad person. Here's a bad person. And they're not even actually no. Some people would consider this a bad person. I don't. You keep hitting them up to hang out. They don't hit you back, and then you see them on Facebook or Instagram, and everyone's doing. They're like out having a party with other people, and then, whether it be male or female, it could be a guy you want to hang out with just because you think he's cool, or girl you want to hang out because you're like, I want to date her just as friends, and they never make time for you. So like, they're not a bad person. They don't have time for you. Like, take a hint, water the relationships that grow, and let the ones die that need to die. Like I say
Okay.
that all the time.
What about this? Okay. So how about this? A bad person is
Yeah.
one. Oh, did I cut you off?
No.
Okay. A bad person is one that has too much drama in their life consistently over and over.
Well, then ask the other question. But the other question is this: why are you attracted? Not you, Danny. In general, ask yourself, instead of asking that, why are you attracted to drama?
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole purpose of this talk. Is why do we choose that person?
You're attracted. You're attracted to drama because you grew up with drama. Your parents probably were drama. Your brothers and sisters were drama. Maybe something happened in your childhood. Like it all goes back to that, Danny.
Okay. How about this one? How about this one? So drama, right? Bad person. How about this one? Angry. Anger.
Yeah, but angry. How can you control that? That's in them, though.
So what I'm saying is, don't choose. That's a bad person. Person who's angry.
Yeah, but then you're also Captain Obvious.
Huh?
Yeah, that's Captain Obvious, though.
No, but some people say, oh, they're just passionate, or they're gonna change. They're gonna change. No, you don't change angry. It's not Captain Obvious. Like if it was Captain Obvious, why do people keep choosing the person that breaks things and and says stupid stuff and
because maybe Well, like like I said, it all comes from the inner core. Maybe they had parents that were very abusive, and they don't know how to break the cycle.
Dishonest. That's another
Yeah,
one. This is a bad person.
yeah. I
But you
mean,
know,
like,
but you know
well, what
what,
is
man?
on the
Yeah.
opposite? What is a good person? That's
Well,
what you
you're
should
looking
be
at
trying.
them. They're doing the Danny and Albert show.
There we go. There we go. And hit that
All
like
the
button right
single
now.
ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single. Hey, that wraps up our Keys to the City segment. Just take us with a grain of salt. We just throw out that stuff, but we are definitely not bad people. We're good people.
No. Yeah, and that's usually what bad people say.
Take my word for it. Well, thanks for tuning in this week, giving us a little bit of your time. We really enjoyed a couple minutes that we spent with you. Do us a favor, like this podcast. Just hit the like button if you're listening to it on Facebook or Instagram, wherever we post it. Hit a like, and do us a favor if you know somebody that'd like to hear us just clown off for a little bit. Share this with them, and if we get enough shares, or if we see somebody shared it and we like you, we may even send you a bottle of Heine's hot sauce that we found on Amazon. I did promote that to our last show.
Yeah,
and so we got to keep true to our word.
Yeah, I could just see like the postal workers, like the postal police coming on our door, thinking that we're sending some
Postal
bomb
police. Now we're doing ADD stuff. Postal police. Yeah. I started watching that coupon movie that you recommended.
Oh, Queen Pins.
Oh my gosh, that's a great movie, Queen Pins.
Oh.
And what's another one that we watched in one of the funnest things over Christmas is me, you, and Beth started watching the Royal Tenenbaums together. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
And what else did we another movie?
Oh, I don't know. I can't. We did watch a lot,
Anyway, see, that was an ADD moment. We got to get back on track. Hey, we'll see you guys next week, 2022. We're going to try to, again, be a little bit more consistent with our podcast. But we'll see you next time. This is the Danny and Albert Show. I'm Danny. That's Albert. And we look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. All right? Take it easy.